with the Wellness Podcast, and today it's gonna be anxiety. Mnaifeel? Ama ni mimi pekee ndo naifeel? Mimi pekee yangu. So today's topic is gonna be about anxiety. Is anxiety the same as paranoia? Ama ni inakwanga je? What's the other word? Anxiety. Kuna ngine inaitwanga anxiety
disorder.
Bas, ziko mingi. So today I have a panel. Like they told me ati wanaitwa panel, si guest. Ama mnaitwa guests?
Panel.
Ni panel wanajifanya hapa sijui what. I am Dafo and the host, mnanijua kama yule. Yeah. So yes, my name is Daphne. Otherwise you can call me Dafo. And on to my, is this right or left? This is left. Who do I have?
Hi everyone, my name is Mary, but you can call me Wix, and I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Joe, and I'm the guest. I'm happy to be here.
Amejisemea. He's the guest. Wait, who I say to but yeah. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. It's gonna be an amazing time. My name is Jeff.
Hey everyone, I'm happy to be here as well. My name is Gibby.
Yes, karibu. Hey, now today we have the one and only. Would you introduce?
Hi everyone,
Hi.
my name is Janet Ochieng. I'm a counseling psychologist and the CEO of Counseling and Wellness Consulting.
Yes. Hapa we call CWC a home na tunamutanga hapa Mama Wellness. So ukisikia nimeita Mama Wellness na umesikia kijiintroduce juu ka Janet same as up. Sindio? So let's begin with our topic. Anxiety. What do you understand by the word anxiety? Gideon.
My understanding of anxiety is feeling tensed in a way. Maybe naelewa natetemekanga tu.
Mtu anatetemeka ukiwa.
Is it fear of the unknown? Kitu kama hiyo tu. I don't know. Yeah.
That's good. Amesema fear of the unknown. We will get back to that. That's something that I think causes a lot of anxiety. The one nilikuwa nataka ni panic attacks. Hapo Mama Wellness atatuexplainia kama ni the same thing ama kama ni two different things. Joe, what do you understand by anxiety?
So, this is anxiety. So, by definition, I would say anxiety is the state of intense fear or worry about an unknown event or future event or a predicted event.
Okay. Predicted event.
Yeah.
Then how is it going to be anxiety if you already know it's predicted? It's predicted, ushajua, why should you be anxious about it?
You know, some predictions may go wrong, so you are anxious whether it's true or false, whether it may happen or may fail to happen.
So watu wa kubet wanakuanga na anxiety.
They do.
Juu amekelea na ajui kama team itashinda ama haitashinda.
Yeah.
So anxiety also comes in there. Mary, nasikia kusema tu explain to me what you understand by that.
I think my definition is not different from what they have said. To me, it's just the fear of the unknown, having the worry part, and also being uncertain of what is going to happen. So I don't know, so I have the anxiety.
Hey. Najua anxiety in affect watu wengi. Watu wako wanasema ati anxiety is just for the youth, but I see also children getting anxiety, but maybe to them they don't know. But before I go into that, Mama Wellness, what is anxiety?
Thank you very much. I think that you have done a very good job by defining what anxiety is. And I tend to feel that I should not be here because already the word anxiety has already been, defined. Yeah, anxiety is normal. It's a normal way of life. and it comes with fear and worry. But not all anxieties are bad, because we are meant to be anxious. Though we've been told not to be anxious for nothing, but in everything, through prayers and supplication, make your requests known unto God. So once you put God in front, you're able to deal with your anxieties. That on the side. Maybe later on, we will be actually looking at what is really deep. But since you've asked me what about anxiety, I think I can't add any more. But I agree with what you have said. Thank you.
Something Mama Wellness has said is that everyone gets anxiety, which is very true.
Yeah.
Because more so fear of the unknown. You've also said that anxiety could be good. Ama mimi ndo nimejisikilia vibaya. Mary.
Ukijisikilia vibaya, anxiety can be good in quotes, like it's just the way inakupea usipite hii barabara. Yes, you're anxious ya kupita, but usipite hii barabara. It prevents you from what can I say? It prevents you from some dangers and all of that. So that's what I define as good anxiety. Like you feel anxious, you want to make a decision, so you just pause, you don't want to make a decision. It prevents you from a lot. But now it affects your function and it triggers emotion, now it becomes anxiety disorder. Yeah.
I think I would want to add on to what she has said about good anxiety. As a psychologist, I would define it maybe in a different way by categorizing the two in terms of what anxiety brings to you as stressors. We have two types of stress. There's eustress and distress, which is caused by that anxiety. So the eustress is what Mary is talking about, that it ignites you to do this and that. So, for example, some of us like going to work. You like working, so you rush to work. You want to go there and talk to your colleagues. You want to show them the nice dress that you bought the other day. You want to mingle with your friends, and you wake up so early in the morning and you're like, you're on your toes running to work. That one I would call good stress, which causes you to be anxious just to see your colleagues. It only becomes bad when now it goes to something we call distress. You're anxious, but you have gone beyond. And from there now, you find yourself getting into a disorder.
Now, that's something very important that you've said. When do you know it's now become a distress?
Is that for me?
Yes.
You will know that it has become a distress when you are feeling a bit irritable, you cannot function, you cannot breathe well, your heartbeat rate is, getting, irregular. Then in that case, you will understand. And more so if you know the triggers, then you should be able to deal with it.
I like how the conversation is flowing now. It triggers. How do you know? Well, this is not for you. Back to the panel here. Joe, how do you know you're getting anxiety or anxious?
Okay. Personally, I would say when you start behaving in an unusual behavior, like you're being overhyped, or your feelings like you are odd, and like for example, msaki you are hyper, and then you've known this person as a hyper person, then another moment unamwona like crocodile, it's not that normal. So that's how you know.
Neza disagree na wewe, kuagree na wewe. Okay, me what people say is that I'm a hyper person. I'm not hyper that much. But when I decide to just chill, niko tu sawa, like I've decided to come into my zen mode where I just want to live. I'm not anxious.
I mean, I think for everyone it's different because we have different characters. So I think for the way my anxiety expresses itself, it's different from many.
How does yours?
No,
we are not.
personal.
No, we're not
Anyway,
going
yeah.
personal. I mean, you could be saying something to
Yeah.
someone who's going through it,
Yeah.
but does not know that they go
Oh.
through that.
And I think that's why
Yeah.
you need to understand what
Yeah.
triggers you
Yeah.
as a person.
Yeah,
We are all different.
yeah,
And something that triggers you may not trigger him.
yeah.
So I think that question is very valid, that we actually need to know who we are.
Yeah.
You must be aware of yourself. You must understand who you are.
Mm.
Once you understand who you are, then you are able to identify with those triggers.
So for me, I think, let me get personal, but when I get anxious or I get anxiety, we don't know how to use those words. We get anxiety, we get anxious, but
One is a verb and one
And
is
is
an
a-
adjective.
we are being schooled now, you know. But for me, my breathing becomes very fast but very low. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's becoming and suppress. So nasikia nika chest, it's like you're trying to stretch, you're trying to breathe, but it's like your air spaces zinafinywa. And then I start shaking, my palms get sweaty. What are your symptoms? Is it a symptom?
Maybe before many answers, we can get on to what you're saying about your triggers, about your feelings, how you realize that you are actually anxious. So, do you go back and find out what really triggered it?
Now that's
Because you cannot just start sweating for nothing.
no, but
You must have thought of something.
now you see sometimes it just comes and you want to pinpoint out what the issue is. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you can't say that, oh, maybe I've not eaten bread today, that's why I'm getting anxious. It's not that. Sometimes you don't know what has triggered it, but it just comes to you. And even if you know what has triggered it, sometimes dealing with it is very hard. Maybe because of your environment you're surrounding, or you've never gone back to know how to deal with it because of that issue. You see, like for example, the loss of a loved one. If you've not dealt with it, if you don't go back to the root cause and maybe gone for counseling or try to deal with it, then it becomes hard for you to handle anxiety when it comes. I don't know if I've made sense. Guys, have I made sense? Ama ninaongea hapa tu gibberish. Yeah? Maybe sometimes when I'm getting an anxiety attack, then you asked, what has triggered it? I don't know. I don't even know. And I'll come back to you how to deal with that. But before we get to that, what are your symptoms? Or yes.
Okay, thank you for that. So maybe if it comes to me, what I would say is that first I usually have a pounding heart, like heartbeats zangu. Yeah, but I won't show it to people, but I know it's in me. Then there is also lack of sleep. Me when I'm anxious, my friend, taka saa 3 hadi kukuche saa 11.
Wow.
Yeah, and tomorrow I'll also be perfect. Nobody will know I've not slept or I've slept. And I think also something else is the breathing, and yeah, we'll come to how to deal with the breathing part. Venye inasaidia like ukiwa na anxiety. Yeah, I think mostly those are the 3 things that I would say.
You've said lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Mimi sasa hivi nakwanga na lack of sleep. But nimeambiwa ni insomnia. Insomnia ni anxiety ama ni
It's
tutauliza
Daktari atatuambia.
daktari.
Because kuna types of anxiety disorders mali zingine zitafollow huko.
Tunakuja hapo.
Tutakuja hapo.
Jo.
Okay, mine is similar to hers, but on hers yake kuna condition hapo nimeona ile ya heartbeat. Unaweza heartbeat inaweza kuwa hivyo, inaweza race ukiwa like tensed. Like uko tensed, something bad might happen, so your heart races.
Yeah.
So yangu my mind is focused on that thing. Kama ni for example, nakumbuka when we were kids, my parents were saying, for example, we are going to coast. So hiyo siku stara singelala. My mind was focused on coast.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
hata ningesahau bag ya kupack. Niende tu niingie tu kwa gari.
Tuende kwa hiyo just hiyo mwana Mombasa ni Mombasa.
I think that's a good anxiety.
Yeah.
So mine is being focused. Yangu naonyeshanga outwards. Utajua tu huyu conscious.
Okay. Interesting. So sometimes anxiety could be positive, guys.
Yeah.
It could be positive. Gidi.
Inakuanga mbaya.
Yeah.
I think for me, there was this time I was a leader. So there's we inafika mahali lazima uongeleshe tu a crowd.
Yeah.
So I think mine expresses natetemekanga.
Yeah.
Kwanza umesimama hivi unataka kuongelesha mguu tu mmoja hivi. Ile serious. Unashanga watu wanaona hivi. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm sweating as well.
So anxiety basically ni kama tu homa. Unafungana ni ka symptoms, most of them are the similar, like sweating, heart pounding. Unajua kina Gidi wengine wako hivi. But afuta cut. Question ilikuwa nikuulize ilikuwa ni how to deal.
Any difference between that and
Yes.
Insomnia.
Yeah. So Mama Wellness, insomnia na anxiety, are they the same thing? Na pia panic attacks.
Thank you very much. I think anxiety will cause what you are talking about.
Okay.
When you're anxious, then you get into those disorders, which are quite a number. Maybe if time allows, we can go through those disorders, like Mary says.
Yeah.
But I would like to maybe get back to this word anxiety. I believe that when we defined it, we said it's about fear, it's about worries. And we said it's a normal feeling. But as a person, you need to understand and know how to regulate yourself. When anxiety pops in, you need to know how you will deal with this issue. You don't sit back and say, oh, I am anxious, how do I go about it? You must be emotionally intelligent to understand how to regulate yourself, how to know this is the time I should act and this is the time I should take some kind of mindfulness, sit back and meditate upon myself so that I'm able to regulate the temperature in my body. The other thing is, if you sit there and wait for fear to go, it will never go. You have to confront fear. Because if you don't confront that fear, it will keep coming. And going about what Gidi had said, fear of unknown, I think we should live in the present while being active in all that we do. Let the future take care of itself. God is there to take care of you. Your future is secure. Your past is gone. Because if you keep dwelling on the past, then you'll realize that panic attacks come in. You start wondering, hey, what really happened? And yet you're not able to answer that question. So you must be aware of yourself. You must have that strength within yourself to regulate yourself. You must do what we call SWOT analysis within yourself. What are some of the strengths that you have to deal with this anxiety? You must know your weaknesses. How many of you people went through the SWOT analysis? What is it? Is it S, W, O,
OT.
OT? R somewhere?
No.
No, there's no R. So you need to understand your weaknesses and deal with the weaknesses. Your strengths and build on those strengths. The threats. What are some of these threats that cause you to be anxious? You need to deal with that also. And so self-awareness is very important. Understand who you are. Regulate what you want to be as a person. Then motivate yourself. Self-motivation. Very, very important. How many of us know how to motivate themselves? Motivation, somebody would say, yes, maybe Mary can talk about that, about motivation and discipline.
Yeah.
Because you can motivate yourself, but if you're not disciplined to do what you're supposed to do, then you're doing zero work. You want to go for an exercise. But if you don't put on that, the exercise clothes and move, take a step, you will stay with your clothes the whole day. Sometimes I used to pack my clothes in the boot. I go to work and I say I'm going to go to the gym, and the gym is just so close. I end up not going. What motivates me must be accompanied by discipline. Yeah. And then empathy. Empathy is another strength that you need to have within yourself. Jipende, empathize with yourself and make sure that you do things the right way. And then social connection, very, very important. That again will help you to come out of, issues of maybe drugs and substance abuse. They will also help you know how to work with peers, especially when you're panicking because of exams. Exams can cause a lot of anxiety. So what is your social connection? The social connection is very important. You can have financial, support, but social support is very, very important. So maybe from there we can talk about something else, but I feel that you have to deal with your anxiety, looking at those areas in your life.
So, with what you've talked about, I feel like those are some of the tools that you can use to deal with the anxiety. How I deal with my anxiety is I love to dance. It calms me down. It makes me go to a vacuum that I only exist. And when I only exist, nothing else. And it's when I just dance and I let go. So in my room, naweza kakua hapo 3 o'clock tu niko tu ta 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 ta, and I get to feel good because my anxiety would start at around 12, goes on, and I'm like, no, I have to do something to overcome it. Actually, is it to deal with it or to overcome it? Because I feel like dealing with it, you deal with it, then na hiyo kitu haitarudi tena, si ndio? But now for me, I just want to let go of that feeling because it's not an amazing feeling, so I do dance. What do you do?
Okay, so when it comes to me, first I have to know the anxiety, has it been brought by something I can't control or something I can't control? So when it comes to something that I can't control, I leave it to God. That's how I deal with it. When it comes to something I can control, like controlling doesn't mean that I will not need the help of God and other people, but something where I know maybe if you could have done this way, maybe in this idea, then that's where I come in. And also when it comes to maybe the breathing issue, there are the breathing techniques that you can use, like the breathing in and out. Then we have...
you show us. We do it as an exercise.
Okay.
Let's do it as an exercise.
Okay. Prepare yourself.
Okay. Guys, let's wait for those guys to prepare themselves. We're waiting for you. Muko. Okay, stop. Wako ready. So what do you do next?
Breathe in.
No, I can breathe in through like this. No. Tuanze upya. Tunaanza upya, guys.
I am breathing. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe is also another breathing technique of the 4-8-7, where you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold for 8, then you let it out for 7 seconds.
And I believe you exhale through your mouth. And
Yeah,
you do nose.
Yeah.
I think it's very effective when you breathe in through your nose and then exhale through your mouth.
Can we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, can we do that?
By following her 8, 4, is it 8, 4, 7?
4-8-7.
4, 8, 7.
Okay.
Okay.
20 guys.
You count internally.
Yes. Guys, are we ready?
Everyone's with them.
Aye.
So wait.
Guys,
You breathe in for 4 seconds.
Yes.
We exhale for 8 seconds.
Yes.
No, you hold for 8.
8.
You hold for 8.
Then
you exhale.
utatoa pole pole na 7 seconds.
Oh.
Okay. Umesikia hiyo?
Intervals, like 1,
Yeah, like I
It
can
would
do
just-
an
Aye,
example.
do an
and
example.
then
Let's go.
Yeah.
to nini.
Twende.
Mtanikauntia ama nijikauntie?
Jikauntie.
Okay, sawa. So mwishindo kutoa na mdomo hivi.
Okay. Utatoa.
Shatoa.
And I
So
think
tunaenda one.
I think it's very practical. If you do that, in fact, if you practice that almost every now and then, you find that you give your lungs a lot of space to bring in oxygen. And what do we need? We need
I
our
think-
lungs to.
Even with that exercise, I want us to add something. While you're doing that exercise, let's go to a happy place
Yeah.
in our head.
As you
It's like
meditate.
a
As you meditate.
Yeah.
Kama unapenda chipo, fikiria chipo. Sawa, kama unapenda nini,
Kama
fikiria.
unataka
So let's do
kujua.
this exercise before we go on a break.
Yeah.
So let's start here. So we are going to do utafanya ni for 1 2 3 4.
Then you hold for 8.
Okay, hapo kwa holding for 8 ndo tutajua lungs. Aye, let's go.
And
1.
do you want us to use our hands to count?
Yes, we can
Yes,
do
so
our
that
hands
so
to
that
count.
even
Yeah.
the
Mtu
yes.
ana-
Aye, guys, mta count. Aye, let's go. 1 2 3 go.
Beautiful.
Hey, nimesikia.
Yes.
Hey, umesikia? Have you guys felt it? I feel like we need to do it. One more time before we go on a break. Sindio?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Think of that happy place. If you like sneakers, think of sneakers.
Yeah.
If you love God, think of God. So let's go. 1 2 3 go.
I think our lungs are beautiful.
Ah.
Nobody
No, that was amazing.
Nobody broke.
That was amazing, guys.
Nimeshikilia education.
So guys, we'll be right back after the break.
Cheers.
Welcome back to the Wellness Podcast, where we were talking about anxiety. Kidogo tumeenda break nilikuwa. And what were we doing? We were breathing in, sindio?
Yeah.
We were doing. Guys, I hope you guys did the exact same thing because it really helps. It really does. We were saying how to deal with anxiety. Tumesema with breathing. Some of us know how to deal with anxiety through dance. Joe, how do you deal with your anxiety?
So mine, how I deal with my anxiety, I personally work out.
Hey, okay, ndo tunaona kamwili eh? How does that help?
Nikisikia tu ati, for example, the fear of the unknown kama if I have exams na niko tensed, I just do push-ups.
It helps?
Yeah.
Come on, so how many does one push-up help or 50 push-ups?
It depends with your capability.
Okay.
Like we can do 10, 20, up to 50.
Non-stop?
Kuna wenye anaweza fanya 5 non-stop, wapumzike, wengine wafanye 20, it depends.
Wewe unafanya ngapi?
can do 100.
Hey!
Hata mimi.
Hata wewe.
Hata mimi.
Mimi moja anasema is okay.
Hey, Mungu.
Sit-ups, umesema sit-ups ama ni?
Push-up.
Push-ups.
Oh, sit-ups ni
So,
zile za hivi.
Sit-ups ni hizo unaweza 150.
100.
Inadepend.
100 push-ups.
Na bado kuna energy ya kufanya exam. Hai.
Sasa hiyo na direct like if your target umekea today I'll do 120. So unafanya kifika 100 ndio akili sasa inatoka huko kwa exam. Then after that unakuwa relaxed. Then you go for sit-ups hivyo.
Mimi and working out ni ile naomba nijitoe tu kidogo. Gidi, wewe unafanyanga nini wewe?
Push-ups pia. Ndio. 120. Anyway, on a light note. Hey. Ndio nimekuja hapa kujua how to deal with my own anxiety because for me I feel to some extent it's a struggle as well.
Oh.
So yeah.
Bado ni poa kujijua. Unajua sisema ati Jumse anafanya 100 push-ups pia unafanya. You know, and I like the fact that he says that he's coming to CWC to know how he can deal with that. Mama Wellness, you know you're a therapist, psychologist. Psychologist. Oh. Hizo ndio gani tena?
Hizo tu.
Sa? Inaitwa? Sa? Si psychologist,
Psychiatrist.
Ati psychiatrist. Hiyo, si mnanielewa, mniandikie hapo chini kwa comments mimi nataka kusema. Do you guys get anxiety?
Oh yes, we do. We are just but human beings who have emotions, have feelings. We also have thoughts that affect our well-being. And for me, in my practice, I use a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy. And when I go through that process, I realize that even those I am actually providing therapy to are feeling the same way I do. So we do actually, and the only thing I do to make sure that I overcome my anxiety is I pray. I pray a lot. I go into my room and just pray and ask God to give me that strength to, face the world. The other thing that I do is I do a lot of exercises, and I also console myself with good food. So I also eat well. That alone makes my anxiety go. Though I'm not that very big, but I feel big, but I don't think it's because of food. So I actually go through anxiety just like you do. Yes.
I like how you deal with it through exercise, like you as well. A lot of people struggle with just exercise. There are people who deal with drugs. They say nakwa anxiety, they go and drink, they do kiango, what they call is what velo or they smoke. That's how they deal with it. So are you going to say it is wrong? Because that's how they deal with it. There are people who take pills, and I think taking pills hiyo imefika sasa imekuwa study disorder kabisa. Sivyo. Hiyo ni wakati you don't really know, you completely can't deal with it hands on vizuri kama sisi. Because I'm not saying kama sisi like we're any special, but it's because we've talked about how we deal with it. So those are two questions. Kuna wenye tumia drugs na wanatulia, si ndio? Na kuna wenye they have to take pills, prescribed pills. Let me say that.
Thank you very much for that question. In fact, drugs and substance abuse is a challenge to all of us, as a country, as parents, as a society. And one settling for drugs to relieve themselves from anxiety, I think that one is more of an issue that needs a lot of, concern, a lot of redress, because drugs, first of all, is not good for us. That's one thing I would like to say. Prevention of drugs and substance abuse in our country has been something that we really need to do a lot of sensitization, a lot of training for mostly our youth, and also coaching. Because it's unfortunate that we go into drugs to relieve our stress. But once you take it and the dose is over, does your problem go? It doesn't go. So if you remember me talking about self-regulation, remember me talking about your environment, how you can deal with your environment in terms of drugs, you should be able to find a way of actually running away from drugs, because drugs will damage your health, to damage your thought processes that precedes action. Your actions will be impaired simply because you are into drugs. So for me, anybody coming to me telling me that they relieve their stress through drugs, I would say no to it, because it's damaged our children, it's damaged our relationships, and I don't think it's taking us anywhere.
Amesema no. And as CWC, do you offer help in terms of people who are going through such anxiety, who are going through drug-related issues?
Oh yes, we do. That is one of our core mandates. We actually work with the youth, especially the youth, to make sure that we identify with them very early. We have youth-friendly programs where we train, we coach, and we sensitize, as I said earlier. And so through that, we are able to identify with them early enough and take them through the sessions. And if need be, we refer them to rehabs for rehabilitation. But the challenge is that once they come out from the rehab, there's no continuity. There is no program that is there for them to make sure that they actually don't relapse. Because 3 months is not good enough. And it's also expensive. It's very expensive to keep them there. And so what we are really urging our government, parents, and the society to keep an eye and make sure that we try to help these youth run away from drugs, which is not easy. But I think with efforts all over from the government, the community, and the people, the youth themselves, will do us good if we have those efforts.
Oh, guys, you've heard it. CWC is a place to come. Kindly text us on our social media. Number 20, social media, where you'll get our therapists who will be willing to work with you, will help you, and I've seen it work. You know, one thing we didn't actually discuss was the types of anxiety. Mi saa zingine nakuanga na social anxiety. I can just be socially awkward and I'll just be like, then I'll be like, what am I doing here? Is that a type of anxiety, Mary?
To me, I would say yes, it's a type of anxiety disorder where you don't know what to expect from the other people that you're meeting. I would say me also sometimes I do have that when I'm meeting, I'm one person sinanga the happiness of meeting new people.
So if you meet Paleta, she's not happy.
Not every time, but more so ukijipata kwa events and all of that, and you have to meet new people. Na kuanga na hiyo social anxiety yenye, like when I'm interacting with them, like wana feel venye nataka wa feel ama like the fear of unknown.
So my question is, ukiwa in such a situation, are you hyper or are you quiet?
I'm quiet.
You're quiet.
Yeah, I'm quiet. I tend to be quiet when I'm around people
That you
I don't know. Yes.
Giddy?
How I deal with anxiety.
Not how you deal with anxiety.
Yeah.
Types.
What types of anxiety?
Yes.
Nilikuwa nimezona out kidogo. But anyway, so Mary amesema social.
Mimi ndio
Anxiety.
nasema social.
Yeah.
Kwani nilikuwa nimeenda.
Ndio ujue.
We have people.
Nilikuwa kwa push-ups.
Ulikuwa kwa push-ups. Bwana
Pia leo jioni nina
unaona what types do you think there are kabla
hapo na ICG.
daktari atuambie
Hapo CG.
Hapo
niambie.
but I like that Gideon amekuja tu kulala by then ni kweli tu na
Maybe tuchanue tutajua what about types.
but maybe John do you know any other type of
Me anxiety yangu, I don't know the types, but they come all zikiamua ni attacks zinakuja wangu. Hata sijui ni social ni
that one is no unajua kudeal nazo.
unajua tu kama ni anxiety push-ups. So lakini sijui kama ni hii type ama ni hii type.
Okay.
But nimekam kulani kwa dili.
I like that.
That's good. Okay, so I think to me, I only know of 3 that I've had people talk about and that also me, I experience. So there is the social anxiety disorder that we have talked about where you're out in the space, you have to interact with people, but you have that cafe in you. Most people tend to take it as being an introvert, but you can also be an extrovert, but when you're with people you don't know, you become quiet. Some people will be quiet, others will be hyper, as you had said. Then we have the panic attacks, where many people, they are affected by that, where you find even the breathing is a problem. Like people have to help you out, and that one I would say in another extreme to many people, the panic attacks, like unasikia kitu kinakushake huko ndani. Then we have the phobias, like for me I would say
phobia and anxiety.
Yeah, it is. Like for example, like me I would say mimi nakwanga na ile phobia ya kutumia zile lift kwa clear. Naona ankati kuanguka. That's anxiety to me, like oops, tufike tu salama.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a phobia, and to me it comes like an anxiety disorder.
Awareness. Before you continue, what is your phobia?
What? I fear what?
Yeah.
So you fear showering?
No.
Yeah, somehow when I was young, I would not go under a shower because it takes my breath. Yeah, and that is something that I just overcame the other day.
Yeah.
I like the way you're shaking your head. Maybe you know the story.
No.
Yes, I went deep sea fishing with my son, and it was incredible.
Wow.
It was something that I dreaded doing, but I found myself on top of a lake where we had to drill the water and get the fish down there. The ice was that thick, about 12 inches thick. And when I found myself there, I said, well, it's me and my son. We were the only ones on top of that lake. You could not see this way, the end is all white. So I overcame my phobia and my fears. And we were there for about 12 hours. The 6th hour, I started becoming conversant with the area. I would walk around the tent. And for me, I can say I overcame.
Yes.
So as again we are discussing phobia, I think it's a major thing that we really need to deal with. Just what alone, can you imagine, took me that far. At my age is when I have overcome. Can you imagine the fear that I've been having? And
For
all those years, fear can actually make you not to prosper. Because those are things that I should have enjoyed when I was young. I'm enjoying them right now when I'm, at past 50. So for you young guys, find out about your phobia and address it.
Gideon, phobia
Address
ni
it.
Sina phobia Sini ukweli, sina phobia. I don't fear heights. I'm actually a very outgoing person. I don't fear heights. I don't fear water.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Even
Sina
snakes.
phobia.
But again, those are just some of the, like for me, somebody will look and say, water? I can swim. I can do. Why water? It's so simple. But somebody in my life, one of my loved ones actually was scared of snakes. Okay, a snake is very dangerous. But my mother-in-law was scared of cockroaches. And she could kill a leopard. She actually killed a leopard and a python. But when it came to cockroaches, she would
That's where you draw the line.
Yes. So we are created differently, with different personalities, different ways of beliefs. Our systems cause us to have, those kind of thoughts and those kind of beliefs. And so if you grow up knowing that cockroaches are bad, they can hurt you, that is what it is. So Gidi, you can't tell us that you are not.
Je, nimekumbuka.
Yes. Hebu sema.
Usicheke. Nilikuwa na phobia ya kushika kuku.
Serious?
Hata kuchinja sitaki kuangalia kabisa.
But you love
hata kuishika kukula na nitakula.
Very fun.
But kushika tu hivi feathers hata kifaranga. Ilikuwa but sahi naweza jaribu.
Unaweza jaribu. That's interesting. Chicken? But when you're eating, you don't care. Joe, where are you going?
Just say it, not judging.
I'm talking judge.
We
don't judge here. We don't judge here.
It's a safe space.
So mimi I used to have here kuku. Lakini the only one actually kama familia yetu yote mimi tu naambianga nichinje. So that's how I overcame. Nilichinja moja nikaachilia. Ilianza ku.
He said no.
Nikaachilia, nikaenda ikakimbia around kushika ikuta kwa neighbor. Sasa tuliende huko sasa tukaanza kuambiwa ati imedisturb. Alafu sasa neighbor tena alikuwa na mbwa. So ilikuwa imeanza so from that time nikaambiwa the next time kishika so mimi huvaa gumboots nikichinja.
Unakanyagia.
At least najua ikifanya hivi I'm not there so
haikushiki mahali.
So hiyo nilikuwa nayo. Sasa ingine ni kama ni afini ni ya dead spaces. So like for example nikienda kwa caves nasikia tu kitu inaweza anguka tu. Kama caves like unaenda place tight.
Maybe
Nimesema yangu ilikuwa ya nini? Ya elevator.
Oh, elevator, sorry.
Ya ikikuwa clear. So mi upanda lift then naangalia tu mlango kama naona ni clear. But nowadays I'm trying at least niangalie nje but still.
And I think the social phobia is very interesting. The social phobia, we are all social animals.
Yeah.
And if you have phobia of associating with people, how then would you live on earth? You need to have people that you can talk with. You need to have somebody you can wake up in the morning and feel sick, call them and they'll be there for you. You need to wake up in the morning and your pump is not working and you say, hey, neighbor, do you have a pump? They'll bring it to you very fast. Like yesterday we found a neighbor coming in to ask for, what was it? Daphne?
Jump starters.
Jump starters. And I was very quick to give him. Why did he think of us? Because we are that connected. So social phobia needs to be addressed. And if you can't address it, you need to find a therapist to help you go through the steps so that you're able to overcome. Yeah.
Wow. I think we're getting a lot of lessons out of this. But for me, my phobia is being enclosed in tight spaces. If you put me under the bed, you might have just fell. Or you put me in a small room. ama katikati ya crowd, I'm done for. And then the other phobia, I don't know, I don't like saying it because it's my phobia, is to see many holes in one spot. Thinking about it is just, sijui inaitwa typhophobia, sijui what, kuna holes mingi kwa place. Because I did this kwa hii kitu and it gatoa shape ya mashimo mingi. Ooh, I don't like that. But most of you guys have said something very important when you're talking about your phobias. Is that there was someone to overcome your phobias. There was someone behind overcoming your phobia. A loved one, or a memory, or an experience. Like for you, mom, your son, alikusaidia with the phobia. Because you felt warm in his embrace to forget about your environment. Gideon, sijui nini ili happen.
Mimi nilichinja kuku.
Alichinja kuku. Akasema, si ni kuchinja tu. But for him ni ile aliona experience akasema next time it has to work different. For Mary, you didn't say how have you overcome it?
Yes, I'm trying to, but I remember the first time when I overcame it, like siku overcome, it was my dad. We went to see a patient in Kenyatta National Hospital. And to go up to 10th floor, see ati the lift za Kenyatta, it's elevator, but sikutaka lift. So to go up to 10th floor, I walked. And nikawapata wameshafika, but me I was okay with walking kanisi. So bora tufike tukutane tu majuu. But now kushuka akaniambia no. So niliingia then namshikilia. Tukashuka hadi chini. Then I was like, si ati ni mbaya, but unasikia nikaona shake.
There's that feeling.
Yeah, so we are there.
So to overcome things like this, we must need
A mentor.
a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need a mentor. Like I was mentored by my son, and I felt, even young ones can mentor older ones.
Yeah.
We thought we were the most experienced. Yeah. Gen Zs can mentor baby boomers. So as a baby boomer, I've grown knowing that water will always take away my life. And I didn't invest in anything to do with water. So phobia and fear can cause you not to even invest. Like the youth, what is your fear? What is your phobia? The unknown. Fear of unknown must be addressed. And the only way you can address it is to find a mentor who will hold your hands, somebody you trust, somebody you can hold the hem of her or his garment and move on. And one of them, and the best, is Jesus. Touch the hem of his garment and you will overcome every fear. Number two, somebody you feel that is a good friend, a friend that you have chosen, not a friend who has chosen you. You must choose your friends. Because if they choose you, then they can do anything with you. So you must choose good friends for you to overcome your fear, for you to overcome your phobia. The other thing that you need to do is to find a good environment where you can thrive. Environments dictate a lot. Because if you are in an environment where people fear dogs, when dogs bark, you know, yeah, it causes fear. If you're in an environment where people are laughing, everybody is smiling, you will find that you're always producing dopamine hormone. You know, dopamine hormone is a hormone that, causes you to be happy. It's produced when you are happy and you don't frown, because frowning causes stress and distress. So that is one thing that you need to understand. Choose your friends. Be happy. Be joyous. Although you can be happy but not joyous, joy comes from within. But happiness is temporary. You can smile out there, but inside you are burning. So find joy within your heart so that you're able to understand your well-being.
Wow. kidogo anxiety kameni tap kidogo because as millennials and Gen Zs, we have the fear of unknown, yes, but the thing of to be so perfect. We must be married by 25, we must have children by 30, we must have a job by what, we must be driving 50 cars, and you're here at 30, hauna bwana, hauna mtoto, marafiki hawako, hauna pesa, you have nothing to your name. And that causes a lot of anxiety every day.
That's true.
Every day. One, because there's that society that you have to show people, this is what I have to my name, and I don't have anything. You have your parents, because they've told you probably, mtoto wako wapi? I need grandchildren. I need, So every day you're just like, so you'll advise us on that, but for me, I'd like to say is, like what Mama Wellness said, just live in the present. And this journey it's like a marathon race. Everyone is on their own lane. Kuna mtu ako na personal best, kuna mtu ako na national best. Unajua? So for you, put your personal best. If you start competing with others, then there'll be a lot of panic attacks where I'm like, oh, my peers have this and this, I don't have anything. Be yourself. The journey, the end line is there. If you're yet to see, just take your time and go there. That causes a lot of anxiety. Cindy, who am I talking to, Quinji? Yes, please, kindly comment, share, and like that post. That is my parting shot, because I want us to end this. Is that just be yourself, live in the present, and work on yourself. Grow yourself. Everyone else will follow suit. Ama, nimesemaje? Ndio tunamalizia kufinish kumalo. Hey, Mary, what's your parting shot?
Okay, I think I've liked this topic a lot because we are here also to learn. It's not that we're in the panel and we know everything. And one thing I would love to say is that, as Mama Wellness had said, that when you're aware of yourself, you're able to know nini inakutrigger as a person, and you're able to tackle with it so that next time it does not affect you. Another thing is, know what you can control and what you can't control. Don't have anxiety trying to control what you can't control. And I love what you've said. Live in the moment, and that's something that I've been doing currently. That, yeah, I know tomorrow I must do blah 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 blah, but today what do I have to do? And the word of God is very clear on that tomorrow will worry about itself. Imagine the word of God is telling us that just it's today, live in the moment, and also invest in yourself, add value to yourself. Because through that, I think you're able to conquer a lot, because you know where you stand. Not other people will not define you as a person, because, as you say, there's society expectations and all of that. They come because you don't know where you stand, you don't know yourself. So just know yourself. You know me, I'm Mary, I stand for this. Whether you talk about it or not, me, I'm like that. Yeah, so yeah, that will be my parting shot, and thank you for having me.
Amazing, that was really, really nice. True.
Yeah, so me personally, my take shot was, one, you should know yourself and how anxiety attacks you, and how you should overcome it. Two, you should have a mentor in order to overcome the anxiety. Three, is kunajua phobia and anxiety. So hiyo hit. So nikajua pia phobia, anxiety, kunajua. And what else? And much has been said, so lazima nitarudia tena. So
Asante. Gideon. My name is Jack.
feel like this session was very informative, very engaging as well. Na feel nika at least nikitoka hapa I'm going out with something. And for other youth and other people who are seeing us, I think takwimo asaidia to some level. Na for me, kuna some things I'm going to apply here. Because anxiety pia imekuwa kitu nanipeleka hivi hivi. But I think we need more sessions like this.
Yeah.
And for other young people, don't fear to reach out. You can see a therapist as well. Yeah.
Yes. CWC social media handles.
Yeah.
Thank you. So as we finish, nataka Mama Wellness atupatie headshot. Pop. Tukimalizia.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for the session. It has been quite interactive. I want to say that we need to do more of these things, more of podcasts, so that we enlighten the society about what we do. I want to also say that CWC is an organization that actually trains and reaches out to the youth through coaching, training, and sensitization. This is just part of one of the things that we do. Podcast is new on our platform, and I believe that you'll be following us as we continue. Thank you once again. This is something to emulate. Anxiety is something that has really taken a toll on all of us, being old, young, and we need to deal with it. We are going to have more sessions.
So kindly follow us, and trust me, we will be there for you as CWC loves you guys. Join us next on our episode. That's gonna be fire. We're gonna have more guests, and if you want to join us, just guys, they'll be popping up somewhere there. So follow us, like, share, and comment. Bye.